This episode of Rick and Rick Rule the World is brought to you by Taskin, the first name in ultra-stylish, premium quality travel gear, like the exquisitely designed Taskin One expandable backpack. With 9 practical variations, the Taskin One is always the right size for wherever life takes you next. Save 30% on your next purchase when you use the promo code R&R Take 30. That's R&R Take 30 at TaskinSF.com.
On an all-new Rick and Rick, it's time to play a Halloween edition of Loaded Questions. I'm Rick Matheson with Rick Rutan, and Loaded Questions is our multiple-choice quiz game that tests your knowledge on recent trends in marketing, media, tech, and/or pop culture. Rick Rutan, are you ready to play Loaded Questions?
Bring it on, Rick Matheson.
All right, first question. Which of the following is not a gross-out Halloween candy concept created by ChatGPT? A, vomit-flavored jelly beans, including favorites like Barf Berry and Chunky Cheddar. B, Frankenstein's toenail clippings with dipping jam. C, zombie farts cotton candy, being undead, never tasted so sweet. Or D, earwax lollipops designed to look like realistic ears, complete with a sticky, yellowish earwax center. Which of these is not a gross-out Halloween candy concept from ChatGPT?
Well, they're all gross out, so I mean, that's a tough one right there. So let's go with the toenail one. Let's try that one.
You are correct. The answer is B or C, because Zombie Farts Cotton Candy is an actual Halloween candy that you can buy, along with other gross-out candies like Flicks Candy Sour Box of Boogers, Trolley Glotzer. It's a disturbingly realistic-looking eyeball gummy with red squishy veins, and insect sucker lollipops that look like insects caught in amber, like in Jurassic Park, or I should say Jurassic Puke in this case. And then I made up the one about Frankenstein's toenail clippings with dipping toe jam. Yeah, so the ones from ChatGPT included vomit-flavored jelly beans, earwax lollipops, and another one, werewolf fur cotton candy with a chewy gummy werewolf paw in the center. All right, question number 2. This year, total Halloween spending in the U.S. will A, have you thinking about the Roman Empire 4 times a day? B, turn Zombie Farts Cotton Candy into a household name? C, reach $12.2 billion? Or D, hit Ryan Reynolds like an oozing sack of Barbie's pumpkin spice ass blisters?
Is there an E?
Unfortunately, no. This year, total Hollywood spending in the U.S. will do what?
All right, I'm going to go with the 12.2 million listeners.
You are correct. It's $12.2 billion, but yes, you are correct.
$1 billion?
Yes, so according to the National Retail Federation's annual survey, total Halloween spending in the U.S. is expected to reach a record $12.2 billion, exceeding last year's record of $10.6 billion. That is a record $108.24 per person, spooking up a win, yes, over the previous record of $102.74 per person in 2021. Also interesting is that this year's $12.2 billion in Halloween spending will include $4.1 billion on costumes, $3.6 billion on candies, $3.9 billion on decorations, and $500 million on Halloween greeting cards. I'm not sure I knew that was a thing.
I think my parents used to send me one, so I guess I knew it was a thing. I didn't know it was that big of a thing.
Apparently it is.
That's a big thing.
$500 million worth of a thing, yeah. All right, so you are big into Halloween. Rick, have you decided what you're going to dress up as this year?
I haven't. And I literally just started thinking about it today. I was like, I got to come up with something. Have you figured out what you're going to do?
Wait a second. Back up here. So you don't have a spreadsheet worked out on which costumes you should consider and why?
No, I don't. I know.
What's happened to you?
I know I failed.
Wow. No, I've got my go-to. It is always Clark Kent becoming Superman. So I've got the suit and then the shirt ripping open and the Superman logo. Yeah. But share some of your past ones because some of them have been, amazing. I seem to remember the Wizard of Oz monkey one year.
Yeah, that's still one of my favorite was the flying monkey from the Wizard of Oz, and it was a pretty expensive costume. I really went all out that year. That one was a lot of fun. I've played a priest. That was kind of fun. Playing a priest and
was it a priest or were you Constantine? No, the preacher. Sorry, the preacher.
Yeah, I was probably closer to the preacher, but I've done all kinds of fun stuff. I was Mr. Potato one time. I think it was an M&M at one time. So I definitely have my my go-tos. So I got to figure out what I want to do. I'm going to do something fun this year.
I'm going to be curious this year how many are dressed up as something Roman Empire, like gladiators or something, just because of the meme around thinking about the Roman Empire. Did you see that whole thing about that meme?
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah, it was several years ago, but then it came back in the last month or so. And it's apparently a men are from Mars, women are from Venus kind of dynamic, where it's a thing to ask boyfriends or husbands for women to ask them, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? And apparently we think about the Roman Empire a lot. People are saying 4 times a day or something, just continuously. And as I thought about it, damn it, Rick, I often think about the Roman Empire. There are different reasons that people are thinking about it, but for me, it's always, and this was one of the things, so I'm not alone. It was low on the list, but I'm not alone, about sort of the fall of the Roman Empire is something that men apparently think of quite a bit, but not the only thing. Yeah. How about you? Did you ever think about the Roman Empire?
I'm sure I do. I mean, you can't, it's difficult not to think about it because like I've been on this Egyptian thing for a little bit. And even when you start looking at Egyptian history, the Romans invading Egypt and, that kind of comes into play, or you start looking at the Viking stuff and, where the Vikings were, the Romans were later. And, you end up like the Romans kind of trickle into everything. So I guess I probably do. I've never really put a whole lot of thought into that.
Yeah. So apparently it's a thing online. All right, final question. Which of the following is not expected to be one of the top costumes for adults this year? A, Barbie, B, Spider-Man, C, Wednesday Addams, or D, Batman? Which of these is not expected to be one of the top Halloween costumes for adult this year?
I'm going to go with Batman.
You would think, but no. The answer is C, Wednesday Addams, which is number 10.
Really?
Yeah, number 10 on the list of top Halloween costumes for kids, but not in the top 10 for adults. So according to the National Retail Federation, the top 10 costumes for adults are expected to be, I guess, generic witch, vampire, Barbie, Batman, a cat, zombie, pirate, princess, ghost, and Spider-Man. Now, by the way, Rick, half of all that spending on Halloween costumes, so $2 billion, is on adult costumes.
Oh, wow.
$1.4 billion is on kids' costumes. And $700 million, so almost $1 billion, on pet costumes.
Wow.
Not surprising. Thank you for tuning in to Rick and Rick Rule the World. Until next time, stay safe, keep each other safe, and keep on coming back to the one show where everybody's name is Rick.
And everybody rules the world.